So I'm on my way home, and there's a quick thought I had that I need to make a video about, because this is a continuation of my whole longer getting series about why you need to create more stuff, why you need to focus on creating lots of stuff, outputting lots of stuff, and not focus on that perfectionism, on trying to make it, you know, as good as possible and all that. Okay, the reason I was inspired to do this is because I was just writing notes for the next podcast episode. My notes for podcast episodes are in a Google Doc. Just looking at that and thinking, man, this is messy. This is so messy. If you listen to the podcast, you might, hopefully you think this is great stuff. They must really know what they're doing and so on. It doesn't really feel like that, you know? Like, this is what we have for creating this podcast is currently a very imperfect system. But this is far from a great or refined system. It's a pretty messy document, and we talk through it. There's quite a lot of editing involved as well. But the result, the result is good enough, right? But it made me think of this because it would be easy to look at this from my perspective and go, this isn't good enough, this is terrible, we need a better system, we need, it can't just be a Google Doc, maybe we need to get some special app or something to plan and schedule podcasts and whatnot. But we don't have any of that, we just do it. And what's really important here is that basically, when it comes to podcasting, I feel like in many ways I'm unprepared to do this and I don't really know what I'm doing. But podcasting isn't actually that bad, because really podcasting for me is almost a way for, it's a way to create content that doesn't have to be quite as refined, because you can just talk about it, right? And it's okay if the sentence structure and whatever isn't perfect, it's fine. When you write something, you write a blog post, the written content always seems to have to live up to a higher standard, like you have to put more thought into it, something like that. But anyway, really this idea of not feeling quite prepared is important, because it reminds me of how I feel about copywriting. I remember the first time I had to write a sales page for my first product, and I felt like I have no idea what I'm doing. Copywriting is difficult. I have no idea what I'm doing, never done this before. I felt really out of my depth, and I just did the best I could to write a sales page anyway, right? And the result was pretty good in terms of, it generated lots of sales, so this is good. The funny thing is that this has never really changed. I have written dozens of sales pages at this point. And every time I sit down, I feel like, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm not really a copywriter, I don't really know what I'm doing. I just make the best of what I have in the moment. And I suspect this is a feeling that just never goes away, So, another thing is, on my video about Is Your Heart In It, there was a similar kind of thing where I wasn't sure if I should publish that. I wasn't sure if that was useful enough, and I was kind of about to not publish it. But in the end, if you look at the reactions that I got to that video, I think it was a good idea to publish that. And it's the same with this, I'm just walking around talking to this camera. It's like, is this important? Does this make a difference to you? Do I know what I'm doing? Well, it doesn't matter. Just do it anyway. Just publish it, right? It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt to publish something. All right, so if you feel unprepared, know that there may be experts in your field that you look up to who also feel unprepared. The difference is they just do it. They've built a habit of just doing it. That's how they became experts in the first place. All right, I hope this ends up being, even though it's unrefined, unpolished content, I hope this ends up being something that is nonetheless inspiring and useful to you. As always, let me know what you think and whether this is helping by leaving a comment below. Thank you for watching. I'm Shane from ActiveGrowth.com.